You're Jed Clampett. I'd know you anywhere. Jed Clampett, just like Mother described you.
Your ma knows me?
Oh, we live just beyond the ridge from you, back home.
Well, it's mighty nice to have somebody from back home drop in on us.
And it's mighty nice to feel the firm, friendly grip of a real mountain man again.
Come in. Don't believe I caught your name.
Jones. Harry Jones.
There's an article here concerning a confidence man known to be operating in this area.
So?
His M.O., that is police vernacular for modus operandi, which in turn is Latin.
I know what modus operandi means. I watched Dragnet for 7 years.
Sorry, Chief. To continue, his M.O. is to prey upon rural types, especially those who have come into money, like the Clampetts. He's particularly...
Let's see that. Harry Jones, alias Herbie Jones, alias Herbie Brown, alias Herbie Brower.
Came out to California and struck it rich, acquired a lot of property. But now my heart says, Herbie boy, go back to the land of your childhood.
You said your name was Harry.
Oh, it is. Herbie's my second name. The one Mother always used to favor. When I think of that, I think of home and Mother.
Long passed on, has she?
Well, no, she's very, very sick. That's why I have to dispose of all my vast California holdings and hurry to her side. Now, Mr. Clampett, how would you like to buy the Hollywood Bowl? Where you going?
Well, I gotta go out and fetch Granny. She takes care of buying everything for the kitchen, like pots and pans and bowls.
No, Mr. Clampett. It's not that kind of a bowl. The Hollywood Bowl is a vast open-air amphitheater, seats 20,000 people.
What in the Sam Hill would I want with a place like that?
What? Well, do you know how much money the Hollywood Bowl took in last year?
Can't say as I do.
$4 million.
Is that a fact?
That's right.
$4 million?
Yes, sirree, Bob.
What the Sam Hill would I want with a place like that?
You mean $4 million doesn't interest you?
Well, not especially. I already got more than I need now.
Well, congratulations. You just passed the test.
What test?
I just wanted to see if you were still that sweet, honest, ungreedy man that my dear mother told me about.
Get Clampett on the phone.
As the bulletin says, he is particularly clever at selling public parks and monuments to these rural types. He convinces them that he's one of their own kind. Sorry, Chief, the line's busy.
Tell me, Mr. Clampett, what do you like to do? What I mean is, what are your favorite pastimes?
Well, I reckon hunting, fishing, whittling.
Well, then, the Hollywood Bowl is exactly what you need.
I don't quite follow what you mean.
Well, let's take whittling, for instance. You know there are 20,000 wooden benches in that place? And if you get tired of whittling, you just turn on the water, fill her up, throw in a few trout, and you got the best doggone fishing hole you ever saw.
What about hunting?
Why, in those hills surrounding the Hollywood Bowl, especially on Mulholland Drive, you'll find more wolves up there than you'll find in any place in this here country.
What do you know about that?
Ed, where are you?
We're in here, Granny.
Ed, can you get the top off of this? Oh, I didn't know we had company.
Mr. Jones, this here is,
Of course. Granny, I'd know that face anywhere.
Mr. Jones is from back home in our part of the country. His family used to live beyond the ridge from us.
Jones? Jones. I recollect a family of Joneses that lived beyond the ridge.
That must have been
They was horse thieves.
different Jones.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Yes, I remember Mother always used to say, we must be twice as good to make up for the bad Joneses.
Mr. Jones here is wanting me to buy the Hollywood Bowl off him.
Hollywood Bowl? Hollywood Bowl?
And this must be the young lady I've heard so much about, the lovely Ellie Mae. Well, the stories I've heard about you, my dear, don't do you justice. You have a much more mature beauty than I expected.
Me?
You won't stay unmarried long in Beverly Hills, my dear. I'm surprised some handsome young movie star hasn't already claimed you for his very own.
Me? Jones, I'm gonna tell him, Granny. Just let me take my time.
Now, Mr. Jones, this here is my cousin, Pearl Bodine.
I'm charmed to make your acquaintance, my dear. Miss Bodine.
It's Mrs., but I'm a widow.
Pearl, you seem to know about Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, yeah, I heard about it. It's where they have all that open-air music and singing.
Pearl here is right gifted at singing and playing and yodeling.
Oh, Jed, I ain't neither.
You are so?
No, I ain't.
Why, you sure are.
I ain't.
Let her win, Jed. For once, she's right.
Mr. Clampett, if I may, as owner of Hollywood Bowl, I become an expert judge of musical talent. And I wonder if I might hear Mrs. Bodine perform.
Well, I could yodel for you.
Cut loose, Pearl.
Holy, holy, ooh, holy, holy, ooh, holy, holy, ooh.
Yeah, there's no question about it. That voice belongs in the open air. Theater. Where 20,000 people can listen and enjoy it.
20,000 people would pay to hear me?
Why, my dear, they would fight for the privilege.
How much you reckon they'd pay?
Oh, I'd say at rock-bottom prices at least $5 a head.
20,000 at $5 a head?
That's $100,000 for only one night.
Jed, did you hear that?
I sure did, Pearl. Mr. Jones, looks like you got yourself a deal. Your troubles is over.
You mean it?
Yes, sir. With a moneymaker like Pearl singing and yodeling for you, you won't have to sell your Hollywood Bowl.
I won't.
Here you are, Mr. Jones.
Thank you, my dear. Hello? This is...
Did Mr. Jones call his lawyer yet?
Trying to get him now. Seems to have a little catch in his throat. Pearl told us some news, Granny.
Ma's gonna sing in Hollywood Bowl, huh?
It ain't set for sure until he talks to his lawyer.
But you've got to find a way to get out of those contracts. This woman is a tremendous talent. She's the greatest yodeler since Caruso. By George, I'm glad I'm selling the Hollywood Bowl. When a woman with the talent of Pearl Bodine can't play in my theater, then I'm through, you hear me? Through!
I ain't gonna sing in Hollywood Bowl, Mr. Jones.
We're booked solid, my dear, and I just got to honor those contracts. But if someone else was to buy the Hollywood Bowl, he could make new deals. He could put in anybody he wants.
Jed, it wouldn't do no harm to go look at the place, would it?
Oh, I don't reckon there'd be no harm in that.
Fine, I'll have my car sent around.
No need to do that. Jethro can drive us all up.
You got a car that'll hold all of us?
Sure, bring it around, Jethro.
Well, then, by George, let's go. You know, Mr. Clampett, there aren't too many millionaires who drive around in cars like this.
Well, actually, my cousin Pearl deserves the credit. This is hers.
Shucks, this old thing. I've been after my cousin Jed to get himself a fancy, shiny new limousine.
Yeah, boy, I sure would like to drive around one of them rascals.
Well, once your ma is performing in your uncle's Hollywood Bowl, she'll be able to buy you a new car every week.
Hot diggity dog!
Mr. Jones says when I commence to singing and a yodeling there, why, 20,000 people will be pushing and crawling at the gates.
Yeah, trying to get out.
What'd she say?
Oh, she said that.
Hey, Mr. Jones, what's that up there?
Well, that's the entrance to Hollywood Bowl. Just kind of make a left there, boy.
Well, let's see. Right is the side where I carry my Buckeyes. So left is...
Turn it, boy, turn it. I'm going to throw in all these buildings as part of of the deal. Won't cost you a cent. Now, you'll notice the trees are all in A1 condition. Solid wood, every one of them. And loaded with sap, too. Now, this here is the famous traveling sidewalk. Takes you right up the hill with no effort on your part. Just stand still and ride. Gives you a beautiful view of Hollywood Bowl. Now, isn't this wonderful? Saves wear and tear on the shoe leather. And this is just one of the features of this wonderful investment you're making, Mr. Clampett. Come right along with old Honest Hank.
What do you think of that, Granny?
Just like city folks, too darn lazy to even walk.
Say, incidentally, if you folks buy this here bowl, I'm going to throw in that traveling sidewalk absolutely free of charge.
Ain't he a nice man?
Well, Mr. Jones, you sure have took nice care of this place.
Well, thank you, Mr. Clampett. Something my mother taught me. Never sell anything that isn't perfect, son. Especially if you sell it to a friend.
Where's all them seats you was talking about?
Oh, there's over here. But I think the best way to see them is from the stage. Why don't you all just follow me? Well, there are your 20,000 seats.
Land of mercy.
What do you think of that, Granny?
Sure would hate to whitewash all them benches.
Girl, this'll sure be a dandy place for yodeling. Never seen nothing better. Jethro, you run up to them top seats way up yonder and see can you hear me when I cut loose.
Okay, Ma.
And now, he ain't going to jump off that stage here. There's a 10-foot drop and then water.
To Pete, Jethro.
Hey, Ma, when you sing and yodel here, be careful about stepping off this here ledge. There's an awful deep puddle down there.
Jethro, why can't you watch where you're going?
Is he going to be all right?
Yeah, that won't hurt Jethro none. His clothes will tighten up a little, but he'll dry out in no time.
Well, Mr. Clampett, how do you like our bowl?
Right nice, Mr. Jones.
There, by the way, I think it's time we dropped all these formalities. From here on in, why don't we just make it Jed and Henry?
I thought you said your name was Harry. Harry Herbert.
Yeah, it is. Harry Herbert Henry. H.H.H. Jones. My mother used to say, those 3 H's stand for honesty, humility, and honor. Why don't you just call me what everybody else does? Honest Hank.
It's a mighty dandy name, all right. One you can be proud of. Well, like I was starting to say, this is a mighty fine place here for whittling and yodeling, but I don't think it's any great shakes for hunting and fishing like you said it was.
You know something, Jed? You're absolutely right. Just goes to prove how long I've been away from the hills. But I got another piece of property not too far from here. It's the greatest spot for hunting you ever saw. Full of animals. And I'm going to sell it to you dirt cheap. It's called Griffith Park. Yeah, named after my dear old mother.
That's a mighty pretty name for a woman, Griffith Park.
Jed, why don't we take a run over there and have a look around?
Well, that sounds like a mighty fine idea. Granny, Ellie Mae, Earl, we're all going over and look at a piece of hunting property Mr. Jones has got.
Hank. Honest Hank.
That looks like somebody's thrown a spell on her. Yeah, she acts like she's in some kind of a trance or something.
Earl. Earl?
Hey, Pearl! 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 Pearl!
Earl. Earl?
Hey, Pearl!
Huh? Oh, I was daydreaming, man.
We's all going over to look at another place called Griffith Park.
Does that mean you've decided against this one?
No, I ain't decided nothing yet, Pearl. Come on, everybody, let's go. Now watch out, Jethro. There's a lot of cars on this road.
There's more automobiles automobiles than I've ever seen in all my born days.
Going so fast. Sure is good they's going the same way.
Yes, ma'am. Because if one of them rascals decides to turn around and head back, there's going to be an awful mess.
No need to worry about that, boy. The cars going the other way are using that road over there.
Where's all these folks going in such a hurry?
Well, the ones using this road are going to Los Angeles, and the ones on that other road are coming back.
If they just slow down a mite, the ones coming back could shout over to the ones going what they seen, and then maybe some of them wouldn't have to go.
Yeah, that's a good thought, Jack. Say, Ellie Mae. Your daddy tells me you like animals.
Sure do, Mr. Jones. I ain't never met one yet I couldn't make friends with.
She's got a way with critters that is plumb amazing.
I like that. I like that a lot. You know, I'll tell you folks what I'm going to do. Ellie Mae, if your papa buys Griffith Park, I'm going to throw in at no extra cost, mind you, my entire collection of fabulous animals from all over the world. I call it the Griffith Park Zoo.
Yeah, that's Tom?
Mighty big-hearted of Mrs. Jones.
Honest, Hank.
Ain't this beautiful? Just like back home. Ain't smelt piney woods like that since we left home.
Uncle Jed, you just gotta buy this. Or we can build us a cabin in here and come hunting all the time.
You ain't gonna shoot at my critters, are you?
When you go hunting, Ellie, you gotta have something to shoot at.
You leave my critters be.
Ellie Mae, turn him loose.
Oh, if he hurts every one of my critters, I'll hit him on the jaw so hard he'll be able to look down his back and without even turning his head.
Now, Ellie Mae, ain't nobody gonna do nothing to nobody. Or their critters. Besides, they ain't ours yet. We ain't bought the place.
How much you asking for this here Griffith Park, Mr. Jones?
Hank, Pearl. Call me Hank.
All right, Hank. Never mind holding hands, Randy. Pearl, that's a sure trick of a crooked horse trader. So you won't look too close at the horse or listen too close to the price. How much you all want for this here Griffith Park, Hank, honey?
Not a sign of anybody inside the house.
Nor outside.
Oh, well, we're probably worried about nothing. You know, the odds are 1,000 to 1 against this confidence man singling out the Clampetts, and even greater against them falling for it.
You know, Chief, according to the circular, one of his favorite schemes is selling Hollywood Bowl.
Isn't that a wild one? Can you imagine anyone ignorant enough to actually...
Hollywood Bowl?
Hurry.
Yes.
Well, Jed, you old hound dog, what do you think of my collection of critters?
I ain't never seen nothing like it in all my born days. Granny, how about that?
If that don't beat all, a jackass with stripes.
Granny, you ain't seen nothing yet. They even got bobcats with stripes. But them rascals is so high and as long as from here that post.
Yeah, they's what they call tigers. Cost me a heap of money to bring them all the way from India.
Mr. Jones, you ought to be ashamed. Putting all them critters in cages and pens. Don't you know critters like to be turned loose?
Now, you simmer down, Ellie. The only reason I put them in pens and cages so your pa could look them over, see what he's buying. I didn't want to have him go traipsing all through the brush.
Nice, so made it, Ellie Mae.
Well, I reckon. But turn them loose quick as you can.
Yeah, I will, Ellie. That's a wonderful girl you got there. As a matter of fact, you got a wonderful family. My kind of people, his mother would say.
Anybody seen Jethro?
Jethro?
It's awful hard to keep track of him amongst all these animals. I didn't mean that the way it sounded. Of course, Jethro's a good-looking boy.
Well, why shouldn't he be? His mother's so beautiful.
Well, I'll be doggone. Ain't they funny-looking little fellers? Yeah, I don't blame you for staring. I told Ma I looked funny in a necktie.
That wild daughter of yours has jumped in with them bars. I seen her. She's in there with them big varmints coming on quick. Sure have been a hankering to me
fellas. Pa says when his pa was a boy, there's lots of you fellas in the hills back home. But by the time I come along, you'd all gone away. Sure do like you. You're so nice and soft and furry. You're friendly, too. If my pa buys this here Griffith Park, I'll take you home with me. There's a heap more room there to roam around than you got here. There's some nice big trees for you and me to climb.
Oh, I can't look. One hug from those powerful arms could kill you.
Don't squeeze too hard, Ellie Mae. Mr. Jones is worried you might hurt his bear.
Shotgun, they wouldn't talk back to us that way.
Driver, this road sure ain't very polite.
They's downright mean a honking and a yelling like that.
They had ought to be taught to drive with what you call courtesy. That means good manners.
You got a wonderful idea there, young fella. And your Uncle Jed is just the man who can do it.
Me?
How? Well, if you owned this road, people would have to drive like you say.
Is it for sale?
Well, it wasn't, but I've decided to make you a package deal. I'm going to sell you Griffith Park, the Hollywood Bowl, and the freeway that connects them.
Tell you what, you come on home for supper with us and we talk it out.
Jethro, you stop at the Hollywood Bowl. I want to take another look at where I'm going to be performing.
Okay, Ma.
Jed, you and Mr. Jones go on inside and talk out your business. Jethro and Ellie Mae and me will be back directly.
Well, where are you going, Granny?
I'll tell you later. Jethro, drive around the back. We got a few things to pick up.
Wonderful little woman. Reminds me for all the world of my sweet little, gentle, gray-haired old mother.
You heard me. I said if I let you use our freeway, do you promise to drive with... What is it again, Jethro?
Courtesy.
Yes. That means being polite to other folks driving. And not speeding or honking or yelling at them.
We're cutting in and out of lanes. Over at school, they told us that causes accidents.
Well, speak up. Do you promise?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Get back in your car and pass through. Next.
Mr. Clampett, I hope we're not too late.
We'd have been here sooner, but we had to avoid the freeway. There's an unbelievable jam up.
That Mr. Jones is a crook. I hope you didn't give him no money.
Ah, Pearl, I didn't give him no money.
Now, where is he?
Inside. And you know something? He ain't no mountain man. He can't hold his liquor worth shucks.
Mr. Clampett? How would you like to buy a city in San Francisco?
See what I mean? And he didn't have no more than half a jug.
Need a ProDoodle template? Here it is. Just add your text.
Isn't this exciting, Mrs. Drysdale? Discovering that your next-door neighbors may be descendants of the very first settlers.
Well, if it's true, but I just can't believe it. The Clampetts are so uncouth, so unrefined.
I prefer unspoiled.
Yes, Madam President.
Jethro, did you ask your teacher over to Pot School about that music like I told you?
Oh, yes, sir, Uncle Jet. She explained it to me, and I got it all wrote down. First of all, that there music is what you call chimes. Them's holler tubes that makes ringing sounds when struck by a plunger or a striker. Say, oh, yes, sir. Now then, there's a reason why them chimes only ring when somebody comes to the door.
Like as if there was a lookout up on the roof of watch.
That's right. You see, there is a little button, and pushing that button makes that plunger hit them chimes.
Doggy.
So whilst you go ahead and go to the door, I'm going up on the roof and catch that rascal that's pushing that button.
Well, howdy, ladies. Come in, come in.
Good morning, Mr. Clampett.
Have a chitlin.
What a treat, of course. Thank you. Thank you. Where's Granny?
Oh, she's out in the kitchen stone grinding some cornmeal.
Stone grinding cornmeal? Now, that's something we must see, Mrs. Drysdale. Come along.
In a moment, Madam President. Mr. Clampett, will you tell your cousin Pearl that my car and chauffeur are at her disposal?
Sure will. Pearl! You going to eat your chitlin?
Oh, yes, of course. By the way, Mr. Clampett, just what is a chitlin?
Oh, these ain't ordinary chitlins. These is Granny specials. They is possum innards deep fried in boiling hog fat. Pearl, how come you to be using Miss Drysdale's car?
Well, kid, now that we's high society, I can't be seen riding around in that old truck.
When is we high society?
Since that historical lady found out that your ancestors come to this country for the Mayflower.
What's that got to do with me?
That's the way society works, Dad. The earlier your kinfolk got here, higher up that puts you.
And I reckon the high society folks is the Indians.
No, it don't work that way.
How come?
I don't know how come.
Well, they was here for anybody else.
No, Jed, let's not try to change the rules. Let's just start enjoying the game. Up to now, Mrs. Drysdale's treated us like wet dogs at a wedding.
That's kind of warmed up.
Warmed up? She can't do enough. Why, she's having her chauffeur take me to all the fancy stores and then to her beauty saloon.
I'm certain there must be an easier way to grind corn.
Oh, there is. Now, back home, we took our turn of corn to the grist mill down by Catfish Creek. Here in Beverly Hills, they ain't got no creek nor river to turn the mill wheel. So we have to go back to grinding corn like we learned from the Indians.
But surely any supermarket would...
Mrs. Drysdale, this is a priceless experience. A direct contact with the past. You can read about these things. But to actually participate in activities familiar to our ancestors it's to hold history in our hands.
I don't think I could hold anything in mine.
Smarter might, do they?
I'm afraid they do.
Isn't it shameful how soft we've gotten?
Well, you come on over here, Miss Drysdale. There ain't nothing like hot soapy water good for sore hands.
Oh, thank you.
And this here soap will take the sting out of the pain.
You're very kind.
And while you got your hands in the hot soapy water, why, you might as well do a few of these dishes. Well, you seem to set quite a store on handling all of these old historical pewter pots and pans.
Oh, I do. But I have to meet my husband at his bank immediately. In fact, I'm late now.
Well, don't you worry, Miss Drysdale. I'll save up a bunch of thrills for you, like churning and lye making and corn husking and chicken plucking and goat milking. My days! She does enjoy it. Did you see her run so she could hurry back?
Now, whose idea was the two baby goats?
Ellie Mae's.
If I didn't know. I declare, girl, you are the limit when it comes to dragging home critters. All I sent you for was a couple of chickens and a milking goat for Granny.
I know, Pa.
But these little rascals cried something awful when we commenced to taking their ma away from them.
Oh, dear, I forgot that Pearl has my car.
Oh, Miss Drysdale, is someplace you gotta go?
Yes, to the bank to see Milburn. I'll call a cab.
Oh, no, that'd be downright unneighborly of us to let you do that. Would Jethro and Ellie Mae can drive you down there?
Sure will.
In this truck?
One good turn deserves another. After all, you let Pearl take your car.
Oh, yeah, you can have the backseat all to yourself, Miss
I'm
Drysdale.
in terrible hurry. I better call a bus.
Ain't nobody can get me there faster than we can, Miss Drysdale.
Don't worry, Miss Drysdale. This hickory bench is tied on good and tight.
Yeah, but
Here, Mrs. Drysdale, you can hold that little fella so he won't bother me when I drive.
Now remember, she's in a hurry, but drive careful, Jethro.
I think I better not go with you. Everyone is staring at me.
I bet you that beautiful new hat they're looking at.
I have to drive down the main street of Beverly Hills.
It's the quickest way to the bank, Mrs. Drysdale, and you said you was in a hurry. One side, everybody, get out of the way.
Please.
We're doing the best we can, Miss Drysdale. Get out of the way. That's ridiculous, Miss Drysdale, making noise like a siren. Come on, move over.
Did you come through the bank in this condition? Say, Marty, how could you explain this?
The Clampett.
I don't want to hear any more complaints about the Clampetts. Well, they may be a bit unrefined, but at least they don't run around the streets of Beverly Hills. Smash!
What happened to your beautiful spring hat?
Oh, boy, a crying jag. Get some coffee, I'll get her walking. Molly, I can't understand. I can't understand this. I have never seen you take a drink before the cocktail hour.
Let go.
Marty, please lie down.
I will not.
Now, you're not going to be one of those kind of drunks, are you?
I am not intoxicated. I'm mortified.
The word is ossified.
When you listen to me, the Clampetts are to blame for this.
Of course. And I suppose Granny gave you some of her corn?
A huge bowl like this.
Here we are, Mrs. Drysdale. Have a sip of this.
Thank you, I shall. Oh, that does help.
Tell me, confidentially, what did happen to your hat?
It was eaten by a goat.
Have some more coffee, Margaret.
Mrs. Drysdale, you really must get a grip on yourself. Now, if Mrs. Smith Standish verifies that the Clampetts are indeed first family material, then you too will be in the spotlight.
I'll be in the hospital. So help me, if those uncouth hillbillies become my social peers, life will cease to be worth living. Oh, Miss Hathaway, take me home.
Margaret. What happened to your car? Did it get smashed too?
Cousin Pearl has it.
You get Miss Drysdale down to the bank all right?
Sure did, Uncle Jed. We got the goat tied out back in the kitchen.
Granny Milky in?
Nope, she's saving her for Mrs. Drysdale.
Take us out to the kitchen. Miss Smith Standish wants to look at them old things in there.
Okay, Uncle Jed.
Well, come in, whoever you are.
Bonjour, Jade.
Who are you?
S'il vous plaît.
Pearl who?
Your cousin.
What did you do at that beauty saloon?
That salon, s'il vous plaît. And they made me glamorous.
about your hair. You took out all the color in the curl, too.
This ain't my hair. This is what you call a flatter wig. All them high society women is wearing them now.
How come? Ain't they got no hair of their own?
Of course they have. But variety is the spice of life. See,
What's that s'il vous plaît?
I thought you'd never ask. That first French.
What does it mean?
I don't know. But all them society women in the beauty salon kept saying it to the fellas that was fixing their hair. Jed, we gotta learn us some French if we're gonna be in high society. Mr. Chauffeur, you may go, s'il vous plaît.
Very good, madam. Good day, sir.
Yes, sir. Sure is, if it don't rain.
That's the way to live. A big limousine and a livered chauffeur. And then folks just know you's high society. All you gotta do is say a few of them French words, and they go to bowing and scraping all over the place.
What's all this stuff?
Them surprises for everybody. High society surprises.
You ain't getting me in one of them wigs.
Uncle Jed, Granny wants...
Bonjour, monsieur.
Who's she?
I'm your mom. S'il vous plaît, that's all.
Ma? Where'd you learn how to speak Italian? Hey, Granny! Ellie Mae! Come look at Ma! She fell head first in a flour barrel.
We got our work cut out for us, making high society out of that one.
S'il vous plaît that again.
Ellie Mae, high society ladies don't go round carrying goats.
Well, Miss Drysdale held one on her lap all the way to the bank. Didn't she, Jethro?
Oh, yeah.
What's all the commotion in here?
Looky yonder at glamorous Cousin Pearl.
Will you kindly tell me what is all so fired funny? You wouldn't know a high society woman if you'd see one.
Well, I sure don't see one around here.
Hey, look at all the fine surprises here Cousin Pearl brung for us.
What'd you bring
for me, Ma?
Now, you find out. Now, I did a lot of checking today, and I found out that high society folks, especially rich ones like us, they have what you call hobbies. Hobbies and sports.
What's them?
Them's things to keep them busy, 'cause they don't do no work.
Well, that lets me out.
No, Granny, it's all right to work, long as the other high society people don't know you work. You see, high society folk is always bored.
How come?
I ain't sure. Probably 'cause they don't work.
Well, why don't they just work and not bother with,
Now, Jed, let's not go to changing the rules again. We're just getting into the game.
All right, Pearl, tell us what you want to do.
Well, Mrs. Smith-Standish said they might be wanting to take our picture for the high society page in the newspaper. So I figure we gotta look like high society. Now, all of you go and put your clothes on, and when Miss Smith-Standish sees us, she won't have to be shamed.
I don't think I want to get mixed up in this nonsense.
Granny, please.
Oh, come on, Granny. Since it pleasures Pearl so much, it can't hurt us none. Besides, Pearl knows a lot more about high society than we do.
Thank you, Jed. Pardon, Mrs. Smith-Standish. Gee, what a beautiful gown. Mercy. This is my tea-drinking, bridge-playing dress. S'il vous plaît. Oh, you speak French? Oh, yeah. I mean, oui. Quelle surprise, charmant. Aimez-vous parler français? Well, you see, I speak it, but I don't quite understand it yet. Ah, c'est bien dommage. Mrs. Smith-Standish, didn't you say that they might want some pictures of us for the paper? Oh, yes, if my research data is corroborated at FFTA in Virginia. Why, pictures of the Clampett family will be on front pages of newspapers all over this country. That'll include me, won't it? Of course. Well, I just want you to know you won't have to be ashamed of us. Now, why would I be ashamed? Well, you know, not having much education and culture and hobbies and not speaking French and all. That is,
The others. Well, you don't have to worry, because I've been working on them, and you're going to be proud when you see them. Now, you sit right here, and I'll introduce them one by one. Mrs. Smith Standish, it gives me great pleasure to present my blood cousin, that international millionaire and high society sportsman, Mr. J.D. Clampett. Jed! Do something, Jed. Polo first.
I don't know how you polo. I feel like a named fool. Look at this thing. I don't know whether you snare them or knock them off trees.
Well, you go and sit over there, Jed. We'll be drinking tea and playing bridge directly. Granny, you're next. And now it gives me great pleasure to present that famous high society dowager and international sportswoman, Granny, whose favorite hobby is big game hunting in darkest Africa.
It's a good thing for you this gun ain't loaded.
Granny, you go on over there and sit down, and we're going to have tea and bridge. Now, those of us who is high society knows there just ain't nothing more cultured than ballet dancing. And so it gives me great pleasure to present them wealthy, bored, international young'uns whose favorite hobby is ballet dancing, Ellie Mae and Jethro. How beautiful. That's only half. Come on out, Jethro.
I ain't gonna do it.
Jethro, come on out.
I don't want to, Ma.
You look fine. You're just dripping culture. Mrs. Bodine, Jethro shouldn't be wearing this tutu.
See, Ma? I told you.
Well, I know it ain't big enough, but it's fine for the picture. No, wait a minute. Wait. We ain't got tea and bridge yet.
Go away.
Oh, Pearl, come on out. Don't sit in there and sulk. Miss Smith Standish wants us to show her how to do the Virginia reel.
You show it to her. I ain't in no mood for dancing.
Oh, we can't dance it without you. Come on, everybody's getting all dressed up.
I had you all dressed up and you run out on me.
Pearl, we just ain't ready for society that high. Now, Miss Smith Standish wants us all to get dressed for reeling. Come on out. You can wear your store-bought hair.
I can't neither. She's gone.
Did that old goat get it? Crazy enough to eat anything.
I have the most dreadful premonition that I'm making a terrible mistake in coming back here.
Oh, think of your career. Mrs. Smith Standish has virtually promised to support your candidacy for West Coast Vice President of the FFT of A.
Margaret Emerson Drysdale, Vice President of the Women's Federation for the Preservation and Perpetuation of the First Family Traditions of America. West. Does rather roll off the tongue, doesn't it?
It has a ring to it.
But I promise you, here and now, I'll wash no more dishes, I'll grind no more corn, and I'll make no more soap. These aristocratic hands were only meant to hold a vice president's gavel.
Oh, you're doing beautifully, Mrs. Drysdale. I'm proud of you.
She sure got the hands for it, ain't she?
Drysdale, your husband's here. He's going to dance with us.
Thank goodness. Oh, my hands. My hands. They'll never be the same again.
There's nothing like milking a goat to pretty the hands.
Come on, Granny. We're getting ready for the Virginia reel. I'll fetch your lap organ in for you.
Oh, Mrs. Drysdale, have you seen this priceless antique lap organ?
Oh, so that's what it is. I mean, it's marvelous.
You like music, Miss Drysdale?
I adore music, especially the authentic lap organ.
I reckon Granny will let you have a turn, won't you, Granny?
Why, sure.
Mrs. Drysdale, did you hear that? Oh, what a red letter day this is for you.
Oh, yes, indeed it is, Madam President.
Well, come on, let's get in there and get at it.
Somebody's gonna have to spell Miss Drysdale. She's all pumped out.
This is Miss Standish. I'm over the telephone. Long distance from Virginia.
Oh, that's headquarters. Mr. Clampett, if our genealogical records confirm those entries in your family Bible, you will make headlines from coast to coast. Your pictures will be in every newspaper. As direct descendants of the first family to settle Jamestown, you'll be celebrities, all of you. You'll be on radio, television, flown to New York for a ticker-tape parade, then on to Washington to meet the president, address a joint session of Congress. Statues will be erected of you.
Excuse me. The telephone?
Let her roll, Miss Hathaway. Oh, she's right. I've got to come down to earth long enough to get confirmation. Excuse me. Mrs. Smith Standish speaking. Yes? Yes! Oh, well, that was the entry in the old Bible I couldn't quite make out. Oh, well, Mr. Clampett is right here. I'm sure he'll be able to give us confirmation immediately. Mr. Clampett, if your great-grandfather's name was Ezekiel, you are the Clampett the world is waiting to discover.
Well, now, I kind of hate to disappoint you, ma'am, but his name was Jeremiah.
I could have told you that, Madam President. Not for one moment was I fooled.
I'm sorry. No, there seems to have been some kind of a mistake.
Kid? What's ailing you? You know doggone good and well your great-grandpappy's name was Ezekiel.
Yeah, I know, Granny. But what would an old mountain goat like me have to say to the president and Congress? Come on, everybody, let's have another Virginia reel.
Yes?
Start streaming now. No credit card required.
Yeah, Ellie?
Ellie Mae Clampett. Why, you the prettiest thing I ain't never in all my born days. How'd an old mountain goat like me ever get a young'un like you? You're a queen. That's what you are in that shiny dress standing there. You're a queen.
Feel it, Paul. It's slicker than a toad's belly.
I'll give you if it ain't. What kind of dress they call that?
This is what you call a ball gown.
A ball gown. Well, you even catching on to what they're named.
Well, Miss Hathaway, she pinned a piece of paper onto every dress she got me. I tell him what it was for.
You better tote along the shotgun and keep fellas away.
Oh, no, Paul. That's what I'm going out for, to meet some fellas.
Hallelujah. You know, you're going to find out something I've been saying is the truth. You don't have to dress up in boys' clothes to have fun with boys.
I'm going to keep my promise, Paul. I ain't going to wear nothing but dresses for 3 whole days.
And I'm going to keep my promise, too. If you don't have just as much fun as you did climbing trees and wrestling, you can go back to wearing your pants and shirt.
Goodbye, Pop. What you doing? Killing ants?
Hey, This place ain't got no ends.
I'll tell you something else it ain't got. That's me. I'm gonna pack up and go home.
Now, wait a minute. Hold on there. This is home.
Not to me it ain't. And for my part, they can give Beverly Hills back to the Indians. Or whoever else was fool enough to come here in the first place.
Come on, let's go in here and sit down and we'll talk this whole thing over. You just got your back up because the police made us get rid of all our cows and pigs and chickens and stuff.
Well, that didn't help none. But if they don't allow folks to have a stock, why have they got that all-fired fancy stock pen down there?
Well, Granny, it turned out that there was something called a tennis court.
What in tarnation is a tennis?
I don't know, but one of these days we'll get us a pair of them and go to raise them out there.
Well, you go to raising them. I'm going back home, where I can get some good things in life, like hog jowls and possum shank.
Now, hold on, Granny. Jethro's out hunting possums right now.
He won't find none. I've been all over these Beverly Hills, and I tell you it ain't easy. Climbing fences and walls and jumping over hedges to get around those cement ponds where there are a lot of half-naked women laying there smearing themselves with oil and yelling at you to get out, get out. I tell you, Jed, this place is full of the laziest, greasiest, unfriendliest mess of people I ever did lay my eyes on.
Here's Jethro. Hi, boy. What'd you get?
I got chased by a fellow with a club.
Now, you hear that, Jed? It says Beverly Hill bullies picking on a little boy like Jethro. Come on, Jethro, load up the truck and let's head for home.
Hold on. I think I know what's ailing you two. You're just plain old homesick.
Well, I'm sick of this home, I can tell you that.
Yeah, now I got a surprise. I've been kind of saving. I reckon now's good times any to let the cat out of the bag.
We need pigs and chickens, and he gets us a cat.
Now, that ain't the surprise, Granny. The surprise is Pearl's coming out here.
Maud's coming out here?
Yeah, and she's bringing your sister Jethrine.
Hot diggity dog.
Yeah, I wrote her a letter. I said, Pearl, I says, why don't you come out here and bring Jethrine? We got lots of room and plenty to eat, and we sure is a hanker to see you.
Oh, boy. I gotta get us some possum now. Because if there's one thing Ma and Jethrine lacks, it's grits and possum shanks.
You don't look particular cheered up, Granny.
Jed, you might fool that boy with a story like that, but not me.
What do you mean?
Since when can you write letters?
Granny, now wait a minute. Wait a minute. Granny, I didn't write that letter by hand.
Held the pencil twist your toes, did you?
No, I wrote it by a new way. The banker's secretary showed me. It's called dictation.
What's dictation?
Oh, it's wonderful, Granny. You just talk and she writes it down.
She sure must write fast.
Yeah, with a bad hand, too.
She got a bad hand?
This one, she calls it her shorthand.
I don't care how many letters you dictate, Jed. Pearl ain't a-coming out here. Leastwise, not right now.
Well, sure she is, Granny. She's looking to find a husband for Jethrine.
I'll tell you who Pearl is a-looking to get a husband for. Pearl. And I think she's got her cap set for that oil man that bought your swamp.
Mr. Brewster? Why, he lives clean over to Tulsa.
Yeah, but pumping oil brings him over to your place. And I'll bet you pigs to polecats that when he shows up, Pearl ain't fur behind.
There he is. Hold on, Jeffrey.
Fancy meeting you here. Small world, ain't it?
Yes, it certainly is.
Oh, this here's my daughter, Jethrine. This is Mr. Brewster, dear.
I'm pleased to meet you, young lady.
Hi.
May I give you a hand, Mrs. Bodine?
Oh, thank you. Stay in the buggy, dear.
Careful now. There we are. Well, I see you girls are on your way to a Halloween party.
What kind of party?
Halloween.
What's a Halloween?
You don't celebrate Halloween here in the hills?
Well, I never heard of it. What's it like?
Well, it's an occasion where everyone gets dressed up in their most beautiful clothes.
Oh, these old things, they're just something I threw together myself.
Well, they look like they came from Saks.
Well, they didn't. I made them with store-bought yard goods. Didn't I, Jeffrey? Yes, sir.
What brings you girls here on this beautiful Indian summer day?
Following you. we was headed this way anyway. I promised to keep an eye on the old home place for Cousin Jed, remember?
Oh, I hope he won't mind that I had a telephone put in the cabin. You see, we're using it as a sort of a field office.
Oh, but he won't mind. Especially if you would show it to me and I could see for myself that there was no damage done to the cabin.
Well, that's quite all right. Come along, huh?
Stay in the buggy, dear.
Well, perhaps you'd like to stretch your legs.
They're long enough now. Jeffrey's awful tall for age. She takes after her father. Her late father, that is. I'm a widow.
Yes, I believe you told me.
Oh, that's right. That's when you told me you was a widower.
Yes.
You, still are, I suppose.
A widower? No, yes.
Stay in the buggy, dear.
I'm going back where I should have stayed in the first place.
Granny, before you do something you're liable to be sorry for, you better take another look around. See all the nice things we got here that you wouldn't have back home.
Like what?
Like this great big cooking room, for one thing. Why, you could take our whole cabin and put it right in this one room.
Well, if you did that, I might stay.
What about them big ice boxes? Ain't got nothing like them back home.
Didn't need them. Got nippy in the fall like the good Lord intended it to. This crazy California stays warm all year round.
That's awful good for growing things. Look at that fruit there. Did you ever in your whole born days ever see anything as pretty as that fruit? Don't spoil neither.
Don't taste neither.
Oh, now.
Jethro ate a whole bunch of them grapes. 2 apples, a pear, and a whole handful of strawberries. And he said there wasn't one bit of juice in the whole kit and caboodle of them. He said it was dry as wax.
It is a mighty dry and gummy. Maybe you ain't supposed to eat this fruit.
That's the trouble with this miserable place. You ain't supposed to do nothing. You ain't supposed to have cows or pigs or chickens. You ain't supposed to fire up the still and make a little moonshine whiskey. Answer me, what can you do in this Beverly Hills?
Well, you can do lots of things, Granny. Things you couldn't do back home.
Name one.
Well, you can call up your friends on the telephone.
No, you can't.
Why not?
Because we ain't got no friends, that's why not. There ain't been one neighbor come a-calling on us since we moved in here.
Oh, so that's what's ailing you. Nobody's been coming to call. Well, now you got to remember what Pearl says. This here is Beverly Hills where the movie stars live.
What's that got to do with it? What's that got to do with being friendly?
Nothing. I just thought it might sidetrack you.
Well, it didn't. Movie stars are people just like us, ain't they?
Yeah, certainly prettier. Wouldn't it be worth waiting for if one of these days they come a knock on the door and we go to answer it, we open up the door and standing there would be Mary Pickford.
Mary Pickford?
Yeah, with the golden curls hanging down her back and her pretty little rosebud mouth saying friendly things like, howdy there, I'm Mary Pickford. Oh, what you'd say to that?
I'd say, who's Mary Pickford? That's right.
My Granny, she's America's sweetheart. You know that movie house where Pearl plays Fanny on Saturday nights?
I heard of it.
Well, she says little old Mary is everybody's favorite.
Well, tell me this. If Mary Pickford moved in that little cabin down the creek from us back home, what would we do?
Oh, we'd have gone calling and brought her over a mess of pone and Skin possum?
Yeah. And has Mary Pickford brought us the mesopone and skin possum? No, she ain't.
You gotta remember, Granny, she probably spends 4 or 5 hours a day just fooling with them, combing that beautiful curls hanging clear down
Uncle Jed!
Well, hello, Jethro. What'd you get this time?
I got arrested. Yeah. Policeman, he took my gun away. He said they don't allow hunting in Beverly Hills.
That doesn't.
Then he pointed to old Duke here. He said, that dog had his rabies shot? And I said, no, sir, that dog ain't had nothing shot. I'm careful with a gun. What'd he say? He said, oh, wise guy, huh? So he put Duke and me in his police car. But we jumped out and run. Oh, is Ma and Jethreen here yet?
No, and they ain't a-coming. Now, if you want to see your ma and your sis, you pack up that truck, and you and me will skedaddle back home where folks is friendly.
Now, Granny. Doggone if she ain't the muleyest little woman. Granny, now just a minute. Now, Granny, will you just let me say one thing?
Well, you be quick, because I got a long trip ahead of me.
Granny, I know it ain't been easy for you out here. New things is always vexing, especially at your age, but I'm bound and determined to keep this family together. And if you go back to the hills, we's all going with you. I'm asking you please to stay. Not for my sake, but for Ellie Mae. Granny, what this place has done for her is a plain miracle. Why, that wild Injun has become a grand lady. I wish you could have seen her go out that door looking like a queen in a picture book. I tell you, I just wanted to sit down and bawl, the way you done when I married her ma. Now she's just... She's out there now. Now, just wait, Granny. Wait till you see. In here, Ellie Mae.
Huh? You sure was right. Oh, Hobby, you don't have to wear boys' clothes to have fun with boys.
May, you promised me you wouldn't wrestle.
I ain't been wrestling.
And what have you been doing in your ball gown?
Doing what I'm supposed to do, playing ball. Oh, I made 2 touchdowns and kicked 3 field goals.
Well, your cousin certainly seems anxious for you to come to Beverly Hills, Mrs. Bodine. Will you? Mrs. Bodine?
Yes.
Will you?
Yeah. Will I what?
Go to Beverly Hills to visit your cousin, Miss Trampett.
Oh, well, not right now. I'm awful busy. You see, I do fancy sewing and hat making and give beauty courses and personality building and music lessons. Then on Saturday, I play the piano over the movie show to Oxford. And then, of course, there are my young ones, Jethro and Jethreen. Of course, they're no trouble. Jethro's in California, and Jethreen, she's fixing to get married.
Well, congratulations. When's the wedding?
Soon as she finds a fella.
Well, you certainly are a busy woman, Mrs. Bodine.
Yeah. As Cousin Jed used to say, Pearlie Tay, the fella that gets you sure don't have to worry about supporting you.
This is the phone I was telling you about. It's called a field telephone. Now, with this, I can communicate directly with the men working at the drilling site.
Any young men down there?
No, yes.
Any unmarried young men?
I'm sure there are.
Any tall unmarried young men?
Well, they're probably all sizes.
Yeah. Suppose it gets pretty lonesome working down there.
Well, it's very likely. This is rather an isolated area.
Any specially tall, specially lonesome, unmarried young ones?
I don't think I can call any by name, no.
Uh-huh. I was just wondering.
Excuse me, ma'am. Could you tell me where the oil drillers are working today?
Well, now. What have we here? Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm, and pretty, too. You know what, honey? I got something here just for you. A genuine French garter imported all the way from Paris, France. They usually sell for 50 cents, but, honey, you can have it for a quarter. Listen, honey, I'm going to be around a couple of days. You busy Saturday night? Well, you are now. And there's a dance over in Hooterville. I bet you're an armful of mama. I mean it, honey. I like big girls. You just do things to me. You carry me away.
All right.
Hey, what's going on here?
Oh, there you are. What are you doing?
I'm figuring. And I figure best when I'm fishing.
Ain't no fish in there.
I ain't fishing for fish. I'm fishing for figuring.
Hey, what kind of figuring you fishing for?
I'm fishing to figure how I can get home.
Now, Granny, I've been doing some figuring, too. You know, I think I got it figured out. How come the neighbors ain't come to visit us?
I'm listening.
Well, I got it figured. Out here in Beverly Hills, instead of them coming to see us, we go to see them.
How come?
Oh, I don't know how come. That's just the way I got it figured.
Mighty convenient figuring.
Granny, it wouldn't do no harm and to give it a try. A lot of things is different out here.
Well, I'll fish on it for a spell. Take Possum.
Feed like a whale.
Who said there ain't fish in here?
Well, that's the prettiest I ever seen.
Ah, I gotcha, you rascal. I'm gonna throw you right in the frying pan. This thing ain't nothing but skin. That's your Beverly Hills for you. All flashy and show on the outside and nothing on the inside where it counts.
Fishing, people, is two different things. We're going to calling on our neighbors, and then we'll do our judging. Well, let's see now. Which neighbor shall we call on first? Mr. Drysdale's off in Boston with his missus, so let's go this way.
If you ask me, let's go back that way.
Now, Granny, you promise. Come on, everybody, let's go.
You reckon they'll give us a mess of pone or something, Paul?
Or maybe some salted down possum.
Probably so lie on us.
I'm not expecting anyone, Agnes.
Oh, it's probably just some children playing trick-or-treat, ma'am.
Howdy, ma'am. We's the Clamptons.
You got something for us?
Yes, sir.
Aren't you rather big for this?
Yes, ma'am, we are. In fact, I don't see how anybody gets through that little door.
Just a minute. Come in. Come in and set a spell, as you folks say up in the hill.
Well, thank you. We got a lot of calls to make. But, this here is Granny.
Howdy. Hello?
And my daughter, Ellie.
Oh.
My nephew, Jethro.
Jethro.
And I'm Jed.
Hello, Jed. I'm Agnes. Just call me Aggie.
Mighty nice place you got here, Aggie.
Oh, shucks, 'tain't nothing but a heap of bricks, but we call it home.
Well, sure is nice to meet up with you.
Oh, now wait just a minute. I got something for you. Wait a second. Here you go, Granny, and Ellie, that's for you, and Jethro, you and Jed. There.
Thank you. That's mighty neighborly of you. And you must come and see us sometime.
Yeah, we'll go hunting together.
Hey, Aggie, you like to play football?
Love it.
Well, there's a whole bunch of fellas that plays in the pasture down the way a piece. And they'd like it just fine if I could bring some more girls along.
I don't...
Please, can we go out now?
Not yet, children. Not till it gets dark.
Ain't that the most pitiful thing?
Heart-rending. Just heart-rending.
Nice-looking woman, friendly as you please. But them young'uns is the homeliest I ever see.
Wonder she didn't want to come a-calling on us.
Yeah, reckon I'd stay home, too, if my kids looked like that.
Kid, I ain't never gonna say a bad word about nobody.
I know what you mean.
Diggies, every house we went to, they was nice to us, wasn't they?
Sure was, Jed.
Hey, listen, everybody. I got an idea. Let's call up Cousin Pearl and tell her to come on out here.
Uncle Jed, you can't call Ma on the telephone.
Drysdale said we could call anybody we had a mind to.
Well, Ma, she ain't got no telephone at home.
Don't matter. She ain't never home nohow.
The way I look at it, you can't never tell what you can do until you try.
Don't forget to spin the wheel.
Howdy, ma'am. I want to talk to Pearl Bodine back in Oxford.
That's right, operator. J.D. Clampett in Beverly Hills.
Jed's sure gonna be surprised to hear me talking at him on this thing.
Oh, they're ready to make the connection.
You betcha it is.
Hello, Pearl, you old rascal. What you doing down there?
Hi, Pearl. This here's Ellie.
Jethro talk in a minute, but first I want to say something. You gotta come out here to Beverly Hills and bring Jethrine. If she can't get a husband out here, there ain't no hope. You ain't never seen so many homely young'uns in all your born days. Homely young'uns in all your born days.
Make videos? Need music? Use what we use. Click the link in the description to save. Pay once, use forever. New songs added monthly. Go to shortenthis.site/getmusic.
You'll have to wait a spell for the rest of your breakfast, Mickey. Movie stars come first. Tell Granny more juice for Aunt Opal, and Uncle Jake would like another pot of coffee.
Right. Now, don't forget, tomorrow it's my turn to serve him breakfast in bed.
Well, all right, Jethro, hurry now.
Goodness knows, Jed, I ain't one to complain. But when able-bodied folks have to have their victuals toted up to bed to them, I think it's downright sinful and lazy. Especially when they bear the proud name of Clampett.
Well, I reckon movie picture actors like Cousin Jake is used to living a different kind of life from us, Granny. Besides, the young'uns don't seem to mind fetching and toting for him.
Hey, Granny, that Opal wants some more juice. Oh, and I'll need this pot of coffee from my uncle, the movie star.
Jethro, you... My dingies, Jed. You'd think we were the poor relations instead of them two upstairs?
Now, Granny, I don't hardly think it's fitting for you to be calling a big movie star like Cousin Jake poor relation.
I ain't never seen him in a movie picture. Have you?
Well, Granny, you and me don't go to a whole heap of pictures neither.
Well, I've seen enough to know who stars and who ain't. That's more than he does.
What do you mean?
Well, I got to asking him questions last night. He don't even know Hoot Gibson.
Everybody knows Hoot Gibson.
He don't. He don't know Dustin Farner, Ken Maynard. He don't even know Jack Hoxie.
He was a green in you. Why, them is the hardest riding, straightest shooting, moving picture stars there is.
Of course. But do you know who your cousin Jake wants to put in the movie picture?
Who?
Some fella by the name of Marlon Brando.
I kind of admire that in Cousin Jake. Ain't everybody take a chance on a new fella nobody ever heard of. Good for you, Cousin Jake.
How long do you think you're going to get away with this movie star masquerade?
It won't be a masquerade once I make a picture with Marlon Brando. I'll be a star.
You've never made a picture with anybody. What makes you think you can get Brando?
With this mansion and Cousin Jed's money, I can do anything. Hon, it's Hollywood psychology. When you look like you don't need a job, everybody wants you.
In your case, it'll be the police.
Baby, I am not doing anything illegal. I am merely accepting the hospitality of my cousin, Jed Clampett.
You're also spending his money, and you're not even sure that he is your cousin.
Neither is he, which makes it all work out very nicely.
How do you know he's your cousin?
'Cause he says so, and the word of a Clampett is good enough for me.
His being a Clampett don't make him your cousin.
Oh, but his saying so does.
How come?
'Cause he's a Clampett. The word of a Clampett is good enough for me.
Hey, come quick, everybody. My uncle the movie star is about to come down the stairs and we can all watch it.
What for? Does he come down the stairs different from other folks?
For a fact, he does, Granny. I watched him yesterday, and he is something else.
Hey, come on, Granny. Let's all go watch.
Y'all all sit right here and be nice and quiet. And watch that door up yonder. Pretty soon you'll see an honest to goodness, real life movie star coming out of that door and down them stairs. Well, don't stand in front of my critters. I promised them they could see Uncle
It's the first time I ever seen him come down that way.
See, Granny, I told you he was worth watching.
Sure can't take a tumble, can he?
I bet you he can get shot off a horse something grand.
I still say he ain't no Hoot Gibson.
Now, Jethro, before I speak to Cousin Jake, you sure it is what you want to do for a living?
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed. I done decided I want to be a movie star.
You give up the notion of being a pig farmer?
Oh, yes, sir, Uncle Jed. I give that up to be a brain surgeon.
What steered you off of being a brain surgeon?
Well, I ain't give that up altogether now. If I don't like movie starring, I'll go back to brain surgeoning.
Good thinking, boy. Never put all your eggs in one basket. Excuse me, Cousin Jake. I hate to bother you. I know you're powerful busy being a movie star, learning your parts and all, but if you could spare me a minute, I'd like to ask you a favor.
Quite all right, Cousin Jed. What can I do for you?
Well, I know you're figuring on making a picture with this feller, Brando.
Marlon Brando, yes.
Yeah, that's a feller. Well, now, Jethro here has got a right powerful hankering to be a movie star. And I figured, since you're using an actor nobody ever heard of, couldn't you just as well use Jethro?
Use Jethro instead of Marlon Brando?
I'll make it up to you any way I can. Of course, I ain't got much to offer except money. But you're welcome to that.
How much money?
Much as you need. 5, 10 million?
You know, there's a lot of Brando in that boy. It's fantastic. He is Brando. Jethro, let me hear you yell, "Hey, Stella!"
I don't know nobody named Stella.
Pretend you do.
Howdy, Stella.
Hey, he took that off real good. Just like he knowed her.
Cousin Jed, I think that you have come up with a great new discovery.
Well, now, I can't claim the credit. After all, it was you discovered he was a great actor.
Yes. Well, now, I'll tell you what. Jethro, there's a Marlon Brando movie playing in town. I want you to go see it. Study Brando. Learn all you can. All right?
Is it all right, Uncle Jed?
Hop to it, boy.
Yeah, I'll be a movie star.
Well, thank you, Cousin Jake. Thanks a million.
Just a minute. I thought you said 5 or 10. Oh, you mean I... Think nothing of it. My pleasure.
Where's Jethro going in such an all-fire hurry, bellowing like a bee-stung calf?
He's going into town, Granny. Cousin Jake here done made that boy a movie star.
Well, then, Cousin Jake here can just do that boy's chores.
Granny, movie stars don't do chores like common ordinary people. They do a lot of special stuff like getting shot off of horses and whooping a whole saloon full of bad men. Ain't that right, Jake?
Quite right, quite right. Well, now, if you'll excuse me.
You see, Granny, that's the kind of stuff he does.
I still say he ain't no Hoop Gibson.
Ain't that a pretty automobile?
Well, now that you're going to be an important movie producer, you deserve the best.
You mean this is for me?
With my compliments.
Oh, you hadn't ought to done that. I ain't no movie producer.
Oh, you certainly are. You're financing my picture, and that makes us partners. You own 20... I am cutting you in for 10% of the profits.
That sure is nice of you.
Jake, I've been looking all up. Whose car?
His.
Your husband just bought it for me.
With what?
With the profits from our picture.
Yes, ma'am. He's going to star my nephew, Jethro Bodine.
Who?
Well, among others, dear, among others. I'm also trying to get Rock Hudson, Doris Day, Cary Grant, Liz Taylor.
That's a dandy idea. Give a lot of new folks a chance.
Oh, Granny says Jethro's gonna be a movie star. Well, I want to be a movie star, too.
Well, right here's a fella can do it. Was him discovered Jethro.
How about it, Uncle Jake? Can I be a movie star like Jethro?
Like Jethro? Yes.
It's entirely possible, my dear. With that figure, I figure that with right clothes and makeup, you could be sensational. Opal, take Cousin Jed's daughter into town in Cousin Jed's new car and get her glamorized.
At Cousin Jed's expense?
Darling, he's producing the picture. Now run along, girls.
Spend all the money you need, ma'am. Turn her into a first-class movie star. Regular Lillian Gish.
Thank you, Uncle Jake.
Glad to do it.
Well, I sure am beholden to you, cousin.
My pleasure, cousin.
Where's Honey Mae? She just got the floor half scrubbed and she run out.
She won't be back for a spell, Granny. Cousin Jake here done made that girl a movie star, too.
Well, then Cousin Jake can just doggone finish the floor.
Granny, like I tried to explain to you, movie stars just don't do ordinary labor.
That's right. Thank you. Well, I'll see you later.
He's getting better every time, Granny.
I still say he ain't no Hoop Gibson. You're gonna rue the day you let them two Hollywood slickers move into your house.
Granny, I don't hardly think you ought to call Cousin Jake and his woman Hollywood slickers.
Well, you tell me. What kind of folks lay in bed till after sunup and stays up till 9 or 10 at night?
I got some more wood to cut.
And goes around turning young'uns' head, telling them they're gonna be movie stars. And then they run off from home and leave their chores.
Folks, get ready for the treat of a lifetime. I would like to present Hollywood's newest and most glamorous star, that queen of the silver screen, that dazzling beauty, Miss Venus Adore.
Howdy, ma'am.
Howdy, Pa.
What was it you called her?
Venus Adore. That will be her screen name.
Well, Jed, have you seen and heard enough? Do you want me to take my shotgun to that rascal?
I think I hear my wife calling. If you'll excuse me, please.
I thought I'd better keep the engine running just in case. Jump in. They'll never catch you.
Oh, very funny, very funny. If I could just figure a way to get around Granny, I'd have it made. Say, do you ever hear of Hoot Gibson? Must be a rock and roll singer.
Oh, no. Hoot Gibson used to be a Western star in the old silent days. My mother used to talk about him.
Western, so that's what she's so hepped on, with all that talk about Buck Jones, Dustin Farnham.
Clear out of here, you varmint!
Oh, did you see that? We have found her! We have found the dance hall queen for the new Hoot Gibson picture.
Jay, come on.
Okay. Take her down to Western Costumes immediately and have her outfitted for the role of Straight Shootin' Jean, the dance hall queen. Oh, I can see that big scene now, with her sitting on the piano singing her song, and Hoot Gibson comes riding into the saloon on his horse, sweeps her up into his arms, and rides off into...
Hold on. You're just wasting time standing there giving me talk like that.
I am?
Yeah! Let's get going, Opal! If Hoot Gibson needs me, he's got me!
Don't you like me as a movie siren, Paul?
Well, yeah, Ellie, of course I do. You're something to see. I bet you're going to be a bigger movie star than Pearl White. Of course, you're going to look a lot better when you get your hair fixed.
Oh, it is fixed.
Hey, you don't say.
Jed! I think you better come out here. Some crazy kid is racing up down your driveway on a motorcycle. Look out!
That there was Jethro. Oh, boy.
Jethro, listen, you can't ride those things in the house.
Wait till Granny sees Jethro ride that thing.
Wait till she sees Cousin Jake. Even Hoot Gibson don't do trick riding no better than that.
Chief, we weren't expecting you back for a couple of days. How was the trip?
Fine. How are the Clampetts?
Oh, fine. That is to say, fine now. There was a little mix-up the day you left, but...
No, what kind of a mix-up?
Seems there are two J.D. Clampetts banking here. Jake Clampet's an out-of-work actor who is habitually overdrawn. And his statement was sent to Jed Clampett by mistake.
No.
Oh, Jake, it's all been rectified now. The two are now friends. In fact, Jake and his wife are visiting at the Clampett mansion.
Hello? Who's this?
This is J.D. Clampett. Who's this?
This is Milburn Drysdale, president of the Commerce Bank. Are you the actor?
Yes, but I already have the financing for my new picture. My cousin, Jed Clampett, is putting up the whole $10 million. Try me next time. All right, Granny, let's try it again.
Hoot rode into the dance hall, scooped up his straight shooting jeans. Then he rode out from them swinging doors with his pretty dance hall queen. What's her man?
Hello. Look, Mr. Drysdale, we are very busy rehearsing for the new picture. Hello. Listen, you crook. Hello.
Something amiss, Chief? Chief, my woman's intuition tells me all is not well.
You are fired.
I was right.
As soon as you drive me up to the Clampetts.
A reprieve.
You come right perplexed. First Ellie, then Jethro, now Granny, all acting like there was chickens got into the corn maze. Hi, Uncle Jed. Of course, I could anger myself up and put a stop to the whole thing, but I'd much rather they'd see for themselves how darn foolish they look.
Uncle Jed, look, no hand.
know about you, Duke, but it's getting too noisy for me out here.
Now, I'm going to show you the Stanislavski method of acting. Make your mind a complete blank, and we'll start from there. Excellent, excellent. Now, become a tree.
Tree?
Yes, think tree, tree, tree. You're green, and you're leafy, and you have branches like this.
Howdy, Pa. Howdy, do.
Come on, Duke. I don't hardly know her myself.
Oh, Jed, come and listen to the new song I'm going to do in the new Hoot Gibson picture. Let her rip, oh, Hoot, he rode into the dance hall, scooped up his straight shooting jeans. Then he rode out from them swinging doors with his pretty dance hall queen. What's her name? Oh, Jed! Don't go, Jed! I've just come in. There's 12 more verses.
Comes that nut on the motorcycle.
Hey, Stella. What do you say, baby? You want to drag me in that heat?
See here, you young hoodlum.
Jethro, get off that thing.
I got split. I see you, Stella.
That was Jethro?
I'm afraid it was.
Mr. Clampett, I want to talk to you. Let's go inside.
Well, things is worse in there than they is out here.
Oh, why don't you both get in? You can talk while I drive.
That's a dandy idea.
But, Mr. Clampett, even if he is your cousin, you can't let this foolishness continue.
I'd be right pleasured if my family would just go back to acting like my family again.
They probably don't realize how ridiculous they appear to others.
I tried hinting at it, but it just don't seem to take a hold.
Well, the lure of show business has turned many ahead.
Chief, if I solve this problem, may I have my job back?
With a raise.
Hang on, everyone. Here we go. All right, let's have it quiet.
Hey, Stella! What is the scoop?
Where's Paul?
Mr. Drysdale will explain everything. Ready, Chief?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to Mr. Jake Clampett here, his cousin Jed has decided to get into show business like the rest of you. And so, without further ado, allow me to present the newest sensation of the entertainment world, Jed Clampett!
Paul's acting like a darn fool. Sure does look funny. And he's making a noise like a stepped-on frog. I reckon the men folks in this family just ain't got good sense.
I wouldn't talk so much if I was you two. You look pretty darn foolish yourself.
Well, so do you. You know something? I guess we all look darn foolish.
Folks, the next number is a special from my cousin Jake here, because it was him made me what I am right now. Well, baby, well, baby, well, baby, well, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby, well, baby, well, baby, yeah, baby, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, no. Now he's hooked on show business.
Oh, baby. Yeah, baby. Mr. Clapper. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Kinda had you scared there for a minute, didn't I? Oh, good. You both here. I want to have a family confab. Where's Ellie?
Well, she's out back with her critters.
Ellie Mae?
Yeah, Pa?
Come on in here. Going to have a family confab. Well, as you all know, poor widow Fenwick and her young'un is coming to spend the day, and we all got lots to do. Fenwick. Start doing right away. I'd like to say a few words first. Now, let's commence with the victuals. Granny, I mean the victuals for the Fenwicks. What you got planned?
Oh, possum stew, grits and jowl, some corn pone, and some pickled crawdads.
Sound a little rich for folks that ain't ate for a while.
Well, maybe you're right, kid. To get the wrinkles out of their belly, I'll start them off with some nice hot owl soup.
That'll be fine. Now, Ellie, you and Jethro delivered them that box of clothes, right?
That's right, pal. I never knowed there were so many needy folks in Beverly Hills.
Me neither. My doggies, you gotta admire that widow Fenwick. She's poor but proud. Jethro and Ellie tells me that right across the front of this little house of hers, she's got writ big as life, Fenwick House.
Cynthia, I have not refused to visit the Clampetts. It's just that I can't bring myself to wear those dreadful clothes.
They are not dreadful. They are the very latest fashion introduced at the Willows Finishing School by Miss Ellie Mae Clampett herself. Don't you understand, Mummy? The latest thing is to look basic and understated. It has something to do with Zen.
But they just don't look right.
Mommy, when a girl as rich as Ellie Mae Clampett wears something, it's got to be right. Now, come on, let's not be the last millionaires in Beverly Hills to get the new look. The Clampett look.
Where's everybody going in such a hurry?
We's gonna have Jethro load furniture to take out to the Fenwicks.
Well, now, hold up loading that truck again. How do we know that the family's gonna need all this stuff?
Well, like I told you, Uncle Jet, they need just about everything.
Well, how do we know their place is gonna hold it all? Let's go over there and take a look.
Yeah. I'd like to see the winner's place.
Well, now, Granny, I think the women folks better stay here in case they get here while we're gone.
How about you men folks staying?
Well, you women folks don't know how to drive the truck.
Maybe I can. I ain't never tried. Crank her up, Jethro.
Heft your Granny down. We'll be back directly. The widow's liable to be right stove up when she gets here, walking all the way.
Don't worry, kid. One slug of my rheumatism medicine and she'll be as good as new.
Granny, can your rheumatism medicine sure enough cure rheumatism?
I didn't say it can cure rheumatism, Ellie, but it can sure make having it a pure pleasure.
We don't want to embarrass them, Jethro, so if they still at home, we'll right quick drive by.
Don't look like nobody's home, Uncle Jet.
Well, come on, let's take a look around.
Found the box of clothes, Uncle Jet. Right here's where Ellie and me left them.
Jethro,
I've seen places with little or nothing in them, but this is pitiful.
A chair to sit. Nor a bed, neither.
Ain't got a wash bowl, or a pitcher to fill it with water, or a window big enough to throw it out.
Hey, Uncle Jim, we gonna bring them some stuff?
Well, Jethro, you couldn't squeeze enough stuff in this place to make it fit for 2 women to live in.
Well, then what are we gonna do?
We gotta get him to move into our place. It ain't gonna be easy, with her being such a prideful woman. But it just ain't right for us to have so much stuff and to let them live here in a place like this. Now, there's something I just can't understand. How can folks live in a big, fine house like that and let a poor, starving widow and her young'un live in a place like this right outside their gate?
Uncle Jed, let's go up and give them what for.
It ain't for us to speak judgment on them. Maybe the spirit of love will take hold like it did Miss Drysdale.
The clouds are moving, the clouds are moving,
Miss Drysdale?
Splendid. You came back for another load.
Well, now hold on. We decided not to move these things.
Why not?
Well, we're hoping that the Fenwicks will move in and use them here.
The Fenwicks? Mrs. Radnor Fenwick?
Oh, yes, ma'am. You know, the widow with the skinny daughter named Cynthia.
They are moving into this house?
Well, we're hoping they will.
But this is marvelous. I've been trying for years to meet Mrs. Radnor Fenwick, and now she's going to be my next-door neighbor.
Well, it ain't for certain yet.
Have you engaged a real estate agent to help you sell them on the place?
No, ma'am, we just kind of figured on talking them into it when they come over.
I'll help you. I'll dash home and change and come back and help you.
You see what I mean, Jethro? The spirit of love has put wings on her feet.
I'll say, Uncle Jed. Just look at her go over that head.
Really, Mummy, and that makes you look just like any other common, ordinary, everyday millionaire. Now take it.
No, don't say like that. I just can't.
Well, you must.
I just can't.
Mummy, if anyone were actually to see you, I would die of mortification. Mummy, I thought I told you, no Jew.
No, Cynthia, I feel positively nude without diamonds.
You're trying to achieve the Clampett look, a look of studied slovenliness.
Oh,
Beasley, our purses, please.
No, Cynthia, not those buckets.
Be silly, Mummy. Yesterday, Ellie Mae Clampett carried one to school, and the effect was devastating.
Oh, dear, if your father could see us now, he'd just turn over in his mausoleum.
Beasley, get the rolls out of sight quickly. We'll call you if we need to.
Yes, Beasley, park it close by. Yes, I'll phone you to the front seat number.
Oh, Mummy, look at that.
Yes. Disgraceful, isn't it?
Disgraceful? It's fabulous. Unbelievably understated. It's probably the only purely existentialist car in Beverly Hills. They must have it copied.
Cynthia, we've used nothing but rolls for decades.
Oh, Mommy, this is progress. Don't you understand?
Frankly, no. I seem to have lost all sense of values. It's like a nightmare.
Well, here, come sit down and pull yourself together before we meet them.
Oh, it's just all so confusing. I just know this never could have happened if Coolidge was still in the White House.
Paul, don't you want me to set the table in the fancy eating room?
I reckon not, Ellie. We gotta be special careful not to put on airs around the poor widow.
Let's eat in the kitchen family style like we always have.
Well, that's a good idea. If we want the Fenwicks to move in here with us, we gotta make them feel like this family.
Jed, is the Fenwicks moving in with us lock, stock, and barrel?
Granny, the Fenwicks ain't got a lock, stock, and barrel to move in with. Right, Ellie?
That's right, Paul. Not even a rain barrel.
He ain't got a pump. He ain't got a place to wash at all.
Well, the best thing to do when they get here is to stick them in the tub and scrub them down.
I don't think they'd take to that right off.
Hey, Ella May. Come on, Ellie, let's go swimming.
What's the matter with you? We've got company coming.
Oh, Granny, I'm hot and tired.
You get into some decent clothes.
Now, hold on, Granny. I think maybe Jethro solved their problem.
You see there, Granny? I solved your problem. What problem, Uncle Jim?
Getting a Fenwick scrub without shaving them now.
You mean I should do it?
Oh, you just go for a swim in the cement pond and take along a cakey Granny's lye soap and a nice stiff brush. Ella May, when the widow and her young'un get over here, you invite them down to the cement pond for a swim.
Okay, Paul?
When they get down to the pond, Jethro, you commence the soaping and the scrubbing and the splashing, and they'll get the idea.
Dingies, that's a first-rate notion.
Well, thank you, Granny.
There goes that spooky music coming out of the walls again.
Boy, it's pretty.
Yeah, I hope it keeps playing until the widow gets here. Might cheer her up.
Well, someone best open the door. Because as soon as that music starts to play, someone's going to come knocking at the door.
Notice that. Take a look outside, Ellie.
And you get your nakedness out of sight.
Mommy, please, you can do it. Come on, I'll help you.
Dave's coming, but that poor old widow woman can't hardly make it.
I'll get my jug.
Is they wearing the clothes you bring them?
Yeah, Pa, and toting buckets.
To carry home leftovers. Lord love them. Let's go give me a helping hand.
Howdy there, Cynthia. This here's my Pa, and I reckon this is your mom.
Welcome, welcome. Well, dogged if you ain't plumb tuckered, Widow Fenwick, but don't you worry. Granny will fix that.
Folks.
Take their buckets out to the kitchen, Ellie.
Yes, sir, Pa. See you in a little bit, Cynthia.
Thank you, darling. Too low.
Ellie Mae, you sure they're scoured good and don't leak? Do it, Granny. Here, Widow, this'll brace you up.
Oh, thank you. Orange pickle?
No, white lightning.
Oh, I'm not familiar with the blend, but tea is tea.
Got her to breathing deep.
Here, Mommy, have a cigarette, darling.
Oh, I wouldn't light a flame so close to your maw just yet. You just might set her off.
Come on, Widow. Let's go to the kitchen. I'll give you a nice hot bowl of owl soup.
Owl soup? Oh, Cynthia, please send for the rolls.
No, Mommy.
She's right, Widow. You don't need no rolls. Granny's baked some corn pone.
Eat my corn. Come on, Widow.
Oh, Cynthia, please help me.
Mr. Clampett, if I might be alone with Mommy for just a few moments, I think I shall be able to compose her.
Okay, Cynthia. Just follow your nose to the kitchen.
Yeah, the grits and jowls will lead you right to the door. Good girl, Widow.
Cynthia, did she say grits and jowls?
Yes, Mommy, doubtless the maid and the butler. Now, come, do get a grip on yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Mommy, think of all the trouble the Clampetts have taken to achieve a total look. The truck, those clothes, their speech. Why, they even weave.
You'd weave, too, if you ever drank their tea.
Try to emulate them.
They'll never sell this house to the Fenwicks.
We can practice on the cleaning woman. Howdy there. Are you Grits?
I beg your pardon? Oh, we all is looking for grits and jowls.
Well, you'll find them in the kitchen. And please stay there, out of sight.
Now see here, you.
We uns is friends of the Clampetts.
Obviously. And the sooner you're all out of Beverly Hills, the better. Meantime, stay out of sight in the kitchen.
That is the surliest cleaning woman I've ever seen.
See, Mummy, even the Clampetts have a servant problem.
Yes, for the first time, I'm beginning to feel a common bond with them. We're both members of an oppressed minority group. Millionaires.
Ain't the Fenwicks sniffed their way to the kitchen yet?
Well, not yet, Pa. Should I go and find them?
Well, let's have a little confab first. Now, Jethro is getting powerful hungry, paddling around in the cement pond with that brush and soap. Ellie, you hinted to the widower and Cynthia about going swimming?
Well, ain't had a chance, Pa.
They must be nigh on to starving. Granny, can we skip the washing and go right to eating?
Jed, from what you tell me about the way they've been living, I'd feel much better if they were washed down good before they sat at my table.
Maybe you're right. They didn't look bad, but you never can tell.
Oh, there you are. We're still looking for grits and jowls.
Oh, we'll get to them directly. Ellie.
Oh, Cynthia, I bet you and your ma would like to go swimming, huh?
I wouldn't.
And now neither would I.
We got a dandy pond, all made out of cement. Nice clean water in it, too.
And plenty of room to splash around and work up a good lather.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'll pass, too.
Yeah, maybe they just like to look at the pond. Show them, Ellie.
Okay, Pa.
No, we're not interested.
We didn't even bring shoes.
Well, I got one that'll fit you.
And I'll try and find one for you, Widow. Based my possum, Jed.
Yeah, now come on, ladies. Pond's right out here. Come on, here you go. It's right over there to the right.
Peculiar behavior. Why do you suppose they're so insistent that we come up?
Mama, looky there.
Magnificent.
What a specimen of manhood.
Who do you suppose he is?
Let's find out.
Clampett! Oh, Mr. Clampett.
Who is that Adonis by the side of the pool?
Adonis?
That magnificent creature with the rippling biceps.
Let's take a look, ma'am.
That's why they wanted us to see the pool. They're going to attempt a little matchmaking.
Oh, I hope so.
Right there is Duke.
Duke? He has a title?
Yeah, Duke.
Duke of what? Where's he from?
Well, he was born in Oxford. He's been with us since he was a little feller.
Then he's the Duke of Oxford.
Yeah, I reckon so. We just call him Duke.
He hasn't got a wife, has he?
Well, he's had his share of lady friends, but nobody right at the moment.
Cynthia, I sure do hope you change your mind about going swimming.
Oh, I have.
Oh, Cynthia, you seem right fond of Duke. If you want him to like you, just tickle him behind the ear.
He just loves that, Cynthia.
And when he lays over on his back, scratch his belly.
But don't stand there. Get scratching.
Sure, where to change, Ellie?
Okay, Pa.
Mr. Clampett, I imagine that Cynthia and I do appear a bit eager, but I want you to know that my daughter is worthy of royalty. We Fenwicks are a very, very old family.
Oh, now, Witter, don't talk like that. There's many a good tune left in an old fiddle.
Here's a brand new swimming suit. Never been wore before. It was given to Jed here for a wedding present. Remember, Jed? Too big. Wouldn't be enough left sticking out to wash. Wash? Yeah, we'll make do. You better leave the room, Jed. Go on out to the laundry tub, Witter, and peel your shirt off.
Excuse me. Howdy, ma'am.
Your Grace.
Yours too.
Permit me to present myself to you.
Well, thank you very kindly, but I don't think my Uncle Jed would let me keep you.
Oh, you, Gray.
Yours too.
I am Cynthia Fenwick.
Oh, hey, is your ma coming?
No, we are quite alone.
Well, shall we go in the water?
No, I'd rather not.
Well, then why don't you just sit here and you can watch me?
Your Grace.
Yours too. Now watch here. Are you watching, Cynthia?
Oh, yes, I am.
All right, now, here we go. You get the idea?
Well, it looks as if you are taking a bath.
That's all right. Come on in.
Your Grace.
Yours too.
Mobile operator, give me JL 13411. No, make that 12. I want the front seat.
I thought I told you to stay out of sight in the kitchen.
Now look here. I have taken all the abuse I intend to take in this house. Clamp it look or no clamp it look. Duke or no Duke. I refuse to... Oh, Beasley! Come quickly, please. This is...
Now you get out of here and take that other antique with you.
I refuse to take orders from a poorly dressed, ill-mannered, overweight cleaning woman.
Why, you loutish hillbilly. I am Mrs. Milburn Drysdale.
And what does that mean?
It means that I am a pillar of society.
You were a pillar. I am cutting you down to a stump.
Don't you dare pull a knife on me.
The only thing I'm going to pull on you is your hat.
Yeah, Jethro, Granny said she had trouble scrubbing the widder. How'd you do with the daughter?
I tried, Uncle Jet, but that girl ain't washed in so long I couldn't sell her on the idea.
Granny said the widder bucked like a mule, too, and then she busted loose and run.
Can we eat now?
Yeah, Jethro, scoot up the back way and get some clothes on.
Hey, you know something, Uncle Jed? That skinny little rascal, all she wanted to do was tickle me behind the ear and scratch my belly.
Paul, come quick. Miss Drysdale and the widow Fenwick is having a real cat fight in the front hall.
Let me up, you female wrestler. I'll have you drummed out of Beverly Hills.
Now you caught her. Hold her right there. Now I'm gonna finish the job with a Fenwick.
Did you call her Fenwick?
I did.
Here now, get off that poor starving Miss Fenwick. You all right, widder? You all right?
Oh, I have never been less all right in my entire life.
Beasley's here. What's the matter?
Ask no questions. Just flee for your life.
Uncle Jed, can we please eat now?
Not being you, Jethro. A fellow named Beasley just grabbed the widder and her young and made off with them. Come on, we gotta catch him.
Uncle Jed. Now the gates are closed.
Well, I'll be doggone. That Beasley feller's the one that lives in that big mansion.
And he's taking the widow and Cynthia into his house.
And bowing and scraping to him, too.
Uncle Jed, you was right about not speaking judgment on that rich fella.
Yeah, looks like the spirit of love sure took a hold of him.